Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Learning Path. This is Dr. Bimina, Head Department of Commerce and Vice Principal Shift 1 from Petition College of Arts and Science, Chennai. In this video, I'm going to discuss how to prepare a cost sheet with the details of expenses and sales is given. To have a more understanding, watch out my previous video to understand the cost sheet format, how to prepare the cost sheet. Click the I button to watch my previous videos to understand the format of the cost sheet. Look at this problem. From the following particulars, prepare a statement showing the components of the total sales and the profit for the year ended 31st December. So components of total sales means we are supposed to prepare the entire cost sheet. Okay. And then simultaneously we need to calculate the profit also. Now look at the problem. What are the information available? Stock of finished goods 1st January. So this problem doesn't have the year. So year ended 31st December means that could be probably the closing date. So the 1st January will be the opening date. So for the opening, we have the stock of finished goods as well as the stock of raw materials and work in progress. And next we have the information about the purchase of raw materials and garage inwards. We can make use of this information of purchase of raw materials and garage inwards along with the opening stock of raw materials. Then we'll come to calculate what is the cost of raw material consumed. When you understand how to prepare the cost sheet format by observing the previous video, you will come to know what is the first part of the cost sheet. The first part of the first calculation we need to make in preparing the cost sheet is to know the cost of raw materials consumed. So what is the first step? What is the first part of the cost sheet when we are preparing means we must know the cost of raw materials consumed by working out what are the things to be considered to calculate the cost of raw materials consumed. First, we need to consider the problem as opening stock of raw materials. If the problem has the information about the opening stock of raw materials, first write in the cost sheet format. So opening stock of raw materials plus purchase also is given. Purchase of raw materials. Then look into the problem. Is there any expenses on purchasing the raw materials? Is there any expenses incurred while they are purchasing the raw materials? Yes, we have one expenses as for this problem, that is garage inwards. So this is the one of the example, that is the expenses the company incurred while they purchased the raw materials. So as per the format, opening stock of raw materials plus purchase of raw materials plus garage inwards. Okay, I have to do. Next closing stock of raw materials is given in the problem. Look at the arrow mark. Closing stock of raw materials given in the problem as 31st December. So minus the closing stock of raw materials. Now look at the solution. Cost sheet for the year ended 31st December. I have three columns as per the format discussed in the previous video. So I have to calculate the cost of raw materials consumed. What is the first calculation to be made in preparing the cost sheet? Cost of raw materials consumed. So I should consider opening stock of raw materials 40,000 plus purchase of raw materials 4,75,000 plus what are the expenses as per this problem where while the company purchased the raw materials, only one expenses was given. So garage inwards 12,500. If we add these three items, we'll get the answer 5,27,500. Okay. Then I should deduct the closing stock of raw materials. So in this part of the calculation, only the things related to the raw materials only will be considered, like opening stock of raw materials, purchase of raw materials, expenses on purchase of raw materials, or minus closing stock of raw materials. So only these are the things to be considered while we calculated to know the cost of raw materials used or consumed as a first calculation to be made in the cost sheet. Next, we have to move on to calculate the prime cost. How to calculate the prime cost? Now look at the problem. We need to look into the problem. What are the direct expenses given in the problem? As for this problem, only one direct expenses were given, that is wages. That's why I added in this format. After getting the cost of raw materials consumed, then I should add to get the prime cost. So the thing is, once I calculate the cost of raw materials consumed, I need to look into the problem. Is there any direct expenses are given? As for this problem, we have only one direct expenses, which is wages. So I add the wages along with the cost of raw materials consumed. Then I will get the prime cost. So once I calculate the prime cost, the next thing is I need to add the factory overhead. So that's why I need to suggest you one thing. Whenever you are preparing the cost sheet, after reading the problem or while you are reading the problem, simultaneously note down the expenses under which category it will come. Say, for example, after garage inwards, factory rent taxes. These are all the expenses related to factory. So I will make a note by using my pencil as F. So make a note of F against this expenses. Other production expenses are also related to my factory. So I will categorize this expenses will come under factory. I will make a note as F. And stock of finished goods is the item to be considered after calculating the cost of production. So if it is closing means minus the closing stock of finished goods in the from the cost of production. Okay. And next is wages of given. So that is a direct expense already we considered. And works manager's salary. So this expenses will come under factory or office or selling. Works manager. Works manager you will found only in the factory. So this expenses will come under factory. Factory employees salary. It will come under factory. Power expenses. Again, it will come under factory. So likewise, we will make a note by using our pencil as F in case if it is coming under factory expenses. In case if you found any expense coming under office or administration department means make a note as A. Okay. And then general expenses, power expenses from works manager salary to power expenses. Work manager salary will come factory. Factory employee salary will come in factory. Power expenses will come under factory. That's why I mentioned over here what are the factory rent, other production expenses, works manager salary, factory employee salary, power expenses. So these are the expenses as I noted as as a reminder to easily finish the problem. So I note down the factory overheads or factory rent, other production expenses, works manager salary, factory employee salary, power expenses. These are the expenses I consider it is related to factory. So I made a note F. So easily I can put it under the category factory overhead. So factory rent, taxes, other production expenses, works manager salary, factory employee salary, power expenses. Once I get the summation of all these overheads which comes in the factory, I will put it in outer column to get the gross work cost. Why this work cost as termed as gross work cost means as per this problem, we have the work in progress. So I said in the previous video, whenever you have information about the work in progress, your work cost must be split into two answers. One is gross work cost, other one is net work cost. So after adding the factory overheads, the answer as for this problem to be termed as gross work cost because we have the information about the work in progress. So after the gross work cost, I should add the opening work in progress, always the opening to be added in the cost sheet. And from that resulting answer, I should deduct the closing work in progress, which is given in the problem. So then the answer name will be net work cost. If in case the work in progress, nothing is given in the problem means whatever expenses you added under factory overheads, then the resulting answer will be call it as just work cost. When you will get the gross and net work cost terms means when you have problem as information about the work in progress. I think all are clear. So once I calculated the net work cost, then I will move on to calculate cost of production. So how to calculate the cost of production means after getting the work cost, I need to look into the problem. What are the expenses related to office side or administration side? So as per this problem, only the general expenses was given in the problem which comes under office. So you please make a note against this item as A. It will be easier for you to categorize the expenses when you're working out the solution. So under office overheads, I posted here general expenses. So 32,500 to be added along with my net work cost. Then my answer is cost of production. Once I calculated the cost of production, next I need to move on to calculate cost of production of goods sold. This term, cost of production of goods sold, will come only when the problem asks the information about the stock of finished goods. Either opening or the closing or both the information available means the cost of production. After finishing the cost of production, next I need to calculate the cost of production of goods sold. If both the informations were not available in the problem means straight away you can add the selling overheads with the cost of production, then you would probably get the total cost. But in this problem we have opening stock of finished goods and closing stock of finished goods. So once I calculate the cost of production, add the opening stock of finished goods minus closing stock of finished goods, then resulting answer is cost of production of goods sold. So after finishing this answer, finally we need to look into the problem. Is there any selling and distribution department related expenses were given the problem? Now look at the problem. So there are no selling and distribution related expenses. I think so. Okay. So no selling and distribution expenses were given in the problem. So that's why I put nil in this cost sheet format. If it is given means add over here to get the total cost. As per this problem, selling overheads, nothing is given in the problem. I said in the previous video, I explained the entire cost sheet format with all the possibilities. So thorough the format of the cost sheet, whatever information is available in the problem, you fit into as per the format to get the answer, step-by-step answer. The first step is to know the cost of raw materials consumed. Okay. The second step is prime cost. The next step is it may be a gross work cost or net work cost, and or is work cost also. When you will have gross or net means when you have the information about the work in progress. Once you finish the work cost, next calculation to be made as cost of production by considering the office overheads. After getting the cost of production, look into the problem. Is there any amount was given for the opening stock of finished goods or closing stock of finished goods? If it is given means opening to be added and closing to be deducted to know the cost of production of goods sold. If nothing is available, nothing is given in the problem about the opening stock of finished goods as well as the closing stock of finished goods, then there is no need of calculating cost of production of goods sold. Straight away you can add the selling overheads. Okay, but we have the information about this, so that's why we calculate the cost of production of goods sold. Then as per this problem, selling overheads were nil. No expenses were given under selling and distribution overheads. Then finally, I calculated the total cost. So after calculating the total cost, I should look into the problem. Either the sales information is given or the profit information given. So as per this problem, sales for the year was given. So when the sales info, look at this, when the sales for the year was given, the problem is ultimately we will compare the sales along with the total cost as per our cost sheet to know whether the firm is earning profit or loss. Now look at the solution, how I calculated. I calculate the total cost as 8,30,750 after doing the step-by-step format of the cost sheet. So total cost I knew as per the cost sheet format. I look into the problem, sales information was given. So 8,60,000 is my sales means, and cost is 8,30,000 means what is the resulting answer name is. When you will get profit, when your sales is more than your cost, then only you will get the profit. When sales is lesser than your total cost means probably the answer name was loss. So as per this calculation, the total cost is lesser than my sales. So the difference must be the profit. So what is the difference? 29,250. How I calculated? Again, I'm repeating. 8,60,000 minus 8,30,750. So my profit is 29,250. So how the term decided as profit means when sales is more than your total cost, probably the difference is called it as profit. In case the sales is lesser than the cost means probably the answer will change over here. The answer may be termed as loss. But as for this solution, the sales is more than my cost. That's why the difference of sales and the total cost is termed as profit. I think you are able to understand how to prepare the cost sheet. Once again, repeat the first step to calculate the cost of raw materials consumed. The second step to calculate the prime cost by adding the direct expenses. Then next step is to calculate the gross work cost by adding the factory overheads. Then consider the opening work in progress to be added, and you will get the answer. From that answer, you deduct the closing work in progress to find out the net work cost. Once you calculate the net work cost, add the office overheads, then you will get what is the cost of production. Once you calculate the cost of production, look into the problem. Is there any information on the opening stock of finished goods or the closing stock of finished goods? In case opening was given, means add the opening stock of finished goods, get the answer. From that answer, deduct the closing stock of finished goods. That resulting answer name is called as cost of production of goods sold. Then finally add the selling overheads to know the total cost. As per this problem, selling overheads was nil. So total cost to be compared with my sales, which is given in the problem, then the resulting answer is termed as profit because my sales was more than my total cost. I think all you understand how to work out this problem. Uh, Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe my channel and click the bell button. See you soon in the next video. Stay home, stay safe.